I think it's really interesting. Ben Shapiro claims to be wealthy in America, you need to do 3 things. Graduate high school, get a full-time job, and get married before you have children.
Oh, yeah, and he's right. And that's the Brookings Institution. He's right on all 3 of those.
Do you think he's missing anything?
First of all, I like Ben a lot. We disagree on some big things, but Ben's great, and he's been a good friend for a while. Yeah, I would say like become a person of high character. Again, I'm going to kind of go back to a main
Do you think
theme.
that is essential to be wealthy in America?
That's a good question. I don't think being wealthy is that important. Like, do you want to be wealthy of the soul or just have like a bunch of money? Like,
well, that would be a different question, but I
guess
agree with you.
But like the question is fine. If you want to be rich, I can tell you how to get rich. Like that's actually not that hard. I mean,
How would you get rich?
Like work relentlessly and solve a problem for people, and like dedicate your entire life to it, and like become an insane person. Basically.
Do you think it's possible to still do all of those things though, and then not become rich?
Of course, but like if your whole reason for living is to become rich, you will become rich. Most people that think like most people I meet that want to be rich, they actually don't want to be rich. They want to have the lifestyle of being rich. They don't actually want to be rich. They're like, you have to sacrifice everything to want to become actually rich, unless you're born into it. Like no nights, few weekends. I traveled 3,000 days over a decade. I'm a million miler in American, Delta, United. I'm in all 50 states multiple times. Like it's thankless, gritty work. Like Shapiro hosted 2 radio shows, plus like Breitbart.com and Truth Revolt, like not easy. So if you actually want to be rich, then there is a path for you. You have to like sacrifice in like immensely. I don't drink alcohol. Like Tucker Carlson doesn't drink alcohol. Donald Trump doesn't drink alcohol. Now, that doesn't mean that like you can't be rich if you don't drink alcohol, but you must sacrifice stuff. Now, it might be that you create a good widget or like you might a good social media app or you might get good venture funding. But even those guys will tell you, you have to fail a lot. You have to sacrifice a lot. You have to be really gritty. I just challenge the premise of like, what is the most important? Like, I think if getting material wealth is the most important thing, I think there actually is a playbook for that. That absent of like committing crimes, like being a really crappy person, being sociopathic, it depends also what you define as rich. Like there is a way forward for if it's your number one reason for living to, earn $500,000 a year. Like that's very conceivable in America. But if you're like, hey, actually the most important thing is to have kids, which I actually think having children is more important than having material success. And I have both. And I can tell you kids are way better than having money. Like, honestly, not being poor is awesome. That's like the best thing I could tell you. Like being super rich, and I'm not super rich, but I would consider to be successful under, American terms is great. But up to a place, it's kind of like, you're blessed, you're wealthy, it's fine. Not being poor is the true blessing. Not worrying about like medical bills or being in debt is like really bad. But yeah, it depends on what you want. If you want to be rich, like actually like have your bank account big, then America, of course you can do that.
How much of people being poor is their fault versus just the circumstances of their life?
It's both. It's very case dependent. A lot of it is agency. So we as conservatives tend to blame free will, agency, and the person a lot more than circumstances. But of course, circumstance play a role. Of course it does.
Why do you think conservatives generally stay silent on wealth inequality?
Well, I don't know if we're silent on it. I mean, I think that we're finally starting to talk about it. I'd say that we would say that don't throw rocks at the top of the building, fix the elevator. So the question shouldn't be like how many rich people are. The question is how easy is it to move up the socioeconomic ladder? That's the more important metric. And that's actually becoming harder. So that's a really important conversation. But I could probably agree with a liberal that it's not good to have like an entrenched permanent oligarchy that's running the country and that people have to go into debt and go into credit to pay for their groceries. Like I actually don't want to live in that country. So I can agree that we should talk about it more. But is there anything like inherently wrong with a billionaire? No, like most billionaires actually have solved big problems for us. Like, people love hating on Elon Musk. I like Elon a lot. He's become a friend. I know there's been like a lot of social media talk about it, but I refuse to say anything negative about Elon. Like, okay, you tell me the next time you're able to launch a rocket and land it. Like, actually, that's pretty cool. Like, okay, you're able to revolutionize the electric car industry. Like, you deserve a lot of money if you do that.
One of the things that I've been confused about is why financial literacy is never taught in schools. Like, you think that this would be something taught throughout middle school, high school, college. Why is that?
I mean, if you want like an actual conspiracy theory, that's like the best evidence of a conspiracy. If you want to like have people remain super poor and dependent on the government, don't teach them financial literacy. It's inexcusable.
And who do you think is in charge of that?
No, I'm not. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know who's like the designer of that conspiracy.
Right.
But
The incentives are aligned.
I'm
just saying, like, if you want a generation to like
Right.
have to go to the payday lending people, and if you want to have them like filling out credit cards at 25% interest, don't teach financial literacy. I don't know who. I mean,
It's convenient.
I'm a big school choice advocate.
Yeah.
I think that we need school choice. I think the public sector teacher unions and the public sector cartel have done a huge damage to this country. But yeah, I mean, look, there's how many young kids right now that are 17 can tell you the difference between credit and debit? They can't. So one of the things I like about Trump's upcoming big, beautiful bill is that every new baby born in America will get a $1,000 loan from the federal government I don't know if you guys know about this, but in a investment account that they can't touch. They're 18, invested in the Dow Jones Industrial Average that they'll be able to monitor throughout their 18 years. It can be grown by philanthropists, family members, grandparents. So they'll actually be able to see their wealth increase. So they're stakeholders. So if we have 2 kids, if we have another kid, that kid will immediately have a investment account that's only a one-way drop box. You can't access this money until you're 18. So it actually creates ownership units for the next generation. I think it's a phenomenal
I wish
idea.
they did that with Social Security.
Oh, of course they should. We were told it was a lockbox and it wasn't. Of course. But no, I mean, look, if you want like the secret to get rich, it's actually like not super hard. It's like live below your means, save your money, invest in good companies, and then find good ideas and read a lot. If you just read a lot and you understand, like all of a sudden you'll see trends and you'll be well informed. Again, I don't want to make it seem like it's super easy, but it depends what you define by rich. But I'll say one final thing. People are so bad with money. Like again, if your top priority is getting drunk, okay, then go do that. Like I know a lot of people, they're like, I want to be rich. I spent $700 going out this weekend. Like, I guess you don't want to be rich, okay? You want to feel good and you want to have a bunch of, toxins go through your liver, but you actually don't want to live a life of happipiness and contentment. And I'm not a moralist. If you want to drink, go ahead. It's a free society. Go do that. But then don't all of a sudden complain to me that you're not materially wealthy.
It just seems like it's such low lift to make a huge change in terms of wealth inequality if there was just one course taught in high school about financial literacy.
Agree.
And so, like, let's just say hypothetically, I'm just a casual viewer of, I've been watching you for a very long time. And how difficult would it be for you to just, reach out to Trump or reach out to someone and be like, what do we got to do to put some incentives into the school system to teach financial literacy?
But you know what? It might hurt a lot of businesses if people were smart with their money.
Oh, it would totally. The credit card companies would freak out.
They would freak out.
Could you imagine like Visa and MasterCard?
Apple,
they'd be like, people are asking
Apple
questions about 25% interest. I mean, so
Apple would sell a lot less
how
phones,
difficult
man.
would that be?
I mean,
is there just way too much interest at play?
No. It would just be difficult. It's very hard for the federal government to control curriculum.
To apply as incentives.
The states should do it. Like there have been some ideas to do this. I know that there's big companies that have tried to do this because they're like, oh yeah, we're giving money towards financial literacy. I'm sorry, like it's not working. Whatever you guys are doing, it's not working, okay? Mm-hmm. Whatever program you think that's going on financial literacy, you guys are all a failure. You should all be shut down because it's just not working. Because I deal with the next generation. They know kaput about financial literacy, like very little to nothing. And this is one of the things that I just want to caution everybody about, which is like, I'm very, very pro crypto, but I know a lot of people that have lost money on crypto. I'm sure you guys, I'm very, very pro crypto. I think there's a huge opportunity. I think it's incredible technology more than anything else. But like the best way to build wealth is over long periods of time, saving money and doing boring stuff. It's not get rich quick. It's not big meme coins, right? It's not big spikes. It's just going to work, saving money and living below your means. I know that's not the sexy answer everyone wants, but that's what Warren Buffett did. Warren Buffett's one of the world's wealthiest men. He started with like very little money 70 years ago. And the eighth wonder of the world, the eighth wonder of the world is?
Compound interest.
Compound interest. Yep. And no one wants to hear that, right? They want to hear about like, what's the next NVIDIA? Okay, I don't know, but I can tell you that in 40 years, if you put $100 a week into a moderately managed, wealth account, you're going to be great. $100 a week, man. I can't afford that. Okay, well, let's talk about it. How much money do you make? Oh, I make $91,000. You can afford $100 a week. Stop getting your Frappuccino. Stop going out to drink with your friends, right?
I've been saying this.
You sound exactly like
no, I mean, I don't.
I mean, the reason why we're called the Iced Coffee Hour is because he had a joke on his channel called the 20-cent iced coffee, and you could save $3 a day, which is $100 a month. And if you just invest that into a Roth IRA, a Roth IRA, assuming 10% interest, you have some inflation, but when you're 60 or whatever, you'll be a millionaire.
And that all came from a guy who was spending $500 a month at Starbucks.
No, I'm probably that guy.
You're that guy?
Well, now I am, but no, I know it's terrible. It's not good. But
you have amazing coffee makers upstairs.
Aren't they incredible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I also drink a lot of tea, and Starbucks, like, so when you travel a lot, the one thing about Starbucks is consistency, right? So it's just like, I don't know what mom and pop, place there is in Laramie, Wyoming. I don't know.
It's a coin flip if it's good or not.
Exactly. So the only argument for like mass proliferation of Starbucks when you travel is
you do the rewards though, right?
Yeah, Mikey does.
It's funny. I actually have coffee socks on. Believe it or not.
Good for. By the way, coffee is really good for you. I'm very pro coffee.
So
I think coffee gets a bad rap. It's very, very good for you, actually.
I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that last year, we actually had none other than Jordan Peterson here on this podcast. And on top of that just being an incredible episode, it was a massive personal milestone for me because I've listened to him for several years and he has absolutely changed my life with his lectures. Well, I'm so excited to announce a very special update from that episode. We have actually partnered with Peterson Academy to sponsor today's episode.
For those unaware, Peterson Academy is Jordan Peterson's online university and it's open for enrollment right now. If you love learning, want to study under world-class professors, or have ever gained anything from Dr. Peterson's books, podcasts, or lectures, then this platform's for you.
Every single month, Peterson Academy releases 4 new, in-depth, 8-hour university-level courses taught by top experts across philosophy, history, psychology, science, business, and more. These courses are seriously designed to keep you guys engaged, and they offer optional testing to solidify your understanding. Plus, there's also an online community where you can connect with other curious and ambitious learners.
And it gets even better because Peterson Academy is getting funding, and so they've dropped the price from $599 down to $399 for the year for access to more than 40 courses, with 4 new ones being added every single month. They also offer you a 7-day money-back guarantee, so there's no reason not to try it.
Just go to petersonacademy.com/ICH today to get started. Again, that is petersonacademy.com/ICH to start learning today. You guys will absolutely love it. Thank you so much to Peterson Academy for sponsoring this episode.